Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 560. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale. Oh, you're muted. Uh-oh. Adam, you were just fine before.
How you doing?
There he is.
I'm not muted.
No,
I
yeah.
wasn't muted. That was weird.
Brett Murdoch,
What up, people?
Richard Bailey Jr.,
What's up, everybody?
and Brian Manjoma.
A big congratulations to Alana Pierce on her role in Bolt Gun 2. And in an unrelated note, due to the economic climate and tariffs, I will not be purchasing Bolt Gun 2.
What's a bolt gun 2? What's that?
It's Alana Pierce's new game, man. Hottest shit of the year.
It's the sequel to Bolt Gun, the Warhammer game. Like the...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a boomer shooter. The boomer shooter.
Yes. She has a voice acting role in that game. And
Okay.
yeah, due to the tariffs, I just can't buy that game
You can't
anymore.
do it. You can't put it.
No.
It's like $3. But you know what? I didn't like the map system. I loved the art design, but I kept getting lost. I was like, this is frustrating. So I stopped playing.
Yeah. All right, man. So, no Chris action. He's a little under the weather, and he has to get up early. All right, man. We're gonna pretty much just jump right into it. We got a lot of questions tonight. So I know for the last couple of weeks we've kind of lingered on questions. I'm not saying we're gonna do a speed run, but we're not gonna be staying on one question for too fucking long because got a lot of questions, and you know what they're all about. They're all about the fucking Steam machine. You guys are.
You know what it is.
Is the machine god?
I'm really surprised because usually this audience leans more towards, PlayStation and that they wouldn't care about.
No,
Steam
our
machines.
guys like Steam games and they like consoles. This is both of them.
When you said that, I just put a downvote. I'm like, his account got hacked. This is not Tony Polanco. There's no way people are sending these much messages.
You haven't checked out the Discord. These motherfuckers are. That's all they've been talking about.
Are they excited for it?
I would say 80% of them are excited. There's 20% is skeptical. They might be turned around when it comes to price, though. So we'll see. But generally, people are pretty happy, and obviously, got a lot of questions here. So we're going to get into it. Like I said, we're not going to steamroll through these questions, but we do have a lot to go through tonight, and also some Call of Duty questions. We got Adam here. All right, man. Let's get into it. Kishak, first question. Actually, the first 4 questions here are all about price. Some version of price. With Valve saying the Steam machine will be competitively priced with PC, is people's desire for it to be under $600 a pipe dream? I think it'll be in the $800 range. What do you guys think this thing going to cost, man? Because it's slightly less powerful than a PS5, which is currently $550 starting. PS5 Pro is a little more than that. I don't know. Like I think it's a tough one because I was thinking about this, right? Obviously, like I know this is a different thing, but handhelds right now they're like between 1,000 and 1,300, right? But what is one thing that Valve doesn't have that all these other companies do? Valve doesn't have shareholders. They're a private company.
I thought it was
Not only that.
trilogies.
So
Not only that, but like they only have 30 employees.
yeah, so it's like they don't. This thing could literally quote unquote flop, and it won't hurt the business. They'll keep going. They have so much fucking money. So I don't think. So again, I'll let you go, Brett. So I'm not going to lay down a specific price, but I don't think it's going to be that it's not going to be as expensive as you think it's going to be. At least for the model, with 512 gigabytes and with no controller. I think it's going to be pretty competitively priced. What do you think, Brett?
500, 600, 700.
Yeah, I think so. Between $500 and $700.
No, 3 models, $500, $600, $700.
I could see that. Again, this
That's
is
about the
Valve.
price for Steam Deck. Okay, look
Valve,
at this way.
Valve could do whatever the fuck they want. I really want people to understand that. Go ahead.
Yeah, like let's. I know Valve was the one. That they kind of made the Steam Deck, and at the time it was more expensive than I guess the Switch was its main competitor. But Valve knew what they were doing. They knew what they could do. They knew what they could put it out for, and they chose to put a handheld system out with a bottom price line of $300, which at the time was fucking ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And it's still fucking like it's still an amazing value, especially when you compare it to a lot of its overpriced counterparts, which, you know, that exactly what Tony said is right. Like, you can see how something went from $500 to $1,000 in terms of the handheld. Like, I saw a clip, and I'm sure people have seen this clip before. It's a clip on I want to say it's Shark Tank or something like that. And it's a guy, he's wanting to sell like disposable like buckets or something. You plant a tree in it and it dissolves away. All right, and he's sitting there, he's pitching it to him, and he's like, yeah, I want to sell them for like $6-7. Like, well, you know, if I'm going to get in on this, I need to make some money. He needs to make some money. You need to make some money. So you need to be selling these things at like $11-12 a pop. And the guy's like, well, I'm selling to farmers. You know, I make them for $2.95. I feel like selling them for $7. You know, it's fair. It's, you know, and he's like, the guy's like, well, I'm out. Unless you want to sell them for $12, I'm out. And that's the kind of fucking mentality that you have with some of these people making these handhelds and some of these people making these decisions, right? Like, you can actually, it's sickening to see, because you can watch capitalism happen, like the bad kind of capitalism, right? Like the worst kind of, like, right in front of you, where someone's like, yeah, I know there's a bunch of needy people who could use this, but I'd like more money, please. So fuck them. And that's exactly what he said. So you can watch it happen, but then you have somebody like Valve, as Tony pointed out, who's like, 33 employees. Every single person who works there is a millionaire. Every single person. And nobody there, like, probably has to worry about money ever again. So at this point, they're just flexing on motherfuckers. Like, and it's. I honestly find it's one of the things that makes me. I'm telling y'all right out of the gate, like, I'm just to be a Steam cheerleader. Like, I'm Team Steam. Like, I switched T-shirts, everything. Like, it took fucking nothing for me to jump ship like that, because Steam has always been. They've always had my six, right? There have been things that Steam has done that I haven't agreed with, sure, but for the most part, Steam has been pushing back against poor industry practices and continues to do so, and is now taking active steps to push back for over 20 fucking years, man. Like, I know everybody's talking about, like, oh, this thing might come, maybe it'll come with Half-Life 3 or anything like that. But, like, here's the deal. It's there. You don't have to pay for online. Just that alone. I have been bitching about this since as long as this show has been on. Why am I paying for multiplayer? And now somebody finally fucking comes out and has the balls to do it on something that plugs into your living room TV. That, even just by itself, even if that were the only thing on the fucking table, I would already switch, because Steam has treated me fucking right, and they've got my back. I love Steam for the exact same reason that I hate Sony, right? Because Sony keeps digging in my wall and giving me nothing. And Steam, like, Adam sent us, like, at least one or two games on Steam that just pop up free. They just like, 100% discount today. Like, why? I don't just because maybe sometimes I know nobody can conceive of this fact, but maybe sometimes when you're not as greedy as possible, you get the trust of your audience. I can't tell you how many people, everybody that I know who has ever touched a Steam controller is vibrating out of their skin right now, because there's a second Steam controller coming on their way. And if you've ever touched a Steam controller, you know what that fucking means. And I can't explain that to you if you've never touched a Steam controller. It is like holding Swiss German engineering or something like that. Like, you just feel the fucking quality. The same with the Steam Deck. Like, the Steam Deck, it's got the right feel to it. And when you do everything, worrying about the ergonomics to the impact you have on your customers, that's somebody whose team I'm going to be on. So just prepare y'all. I'm Team Steam. So just swap out.
Fair enough. All right, Adam, what about you? What do you think it's going to cost?
$800.
800 max?
Yeah, because they can't go.
Wait,
up to
max
the
or
price.
starting?
Or just what I don't know if they're gonna have 3 tiers.
They already said they're going to have
They already
different
said it?
SKUs.
They're gonna
Yeah.
have 3 tiers. All
No,
right, so
not
if they're gonna
three,
do
not
that,
three, but they're gonna have different SKUs. We're gonna have one with 512 gigabytes, one with 2 terabytes, one with a controller, one without. So there's gonna be different versions.
all right. So the max for even the highest tier, I'm thinking is 1,000. If
Wow.
they do
Okay.
the 2 terabyte and with the controller and all that stuff, that's the max I could think. Because if you go higher than that, then you're getting into the whole PlayStation and the Xbox and all that stuff, and that's a competition. At least they're pushing in, so they want to come lower, because then it makes it an easier buy for somebody. Let's say if they don't have a PlayStation or something like that, and they're thinking about it. So it just either way, I have a feeling that they're going to come in on the lower end, sort of like what Brett said. They don't have all the overhead. They don't have somebody tell them you have to do this, you have to get in this market. No, 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 no. We don't need that. We already have the storefront, which is a plus on their end. So if they can just really sell the key points that, hey, you got no restrictions, you got no subscription fees, you can play all the games that you already own. You could log into your Game Pass PC, whatever profile. You can do all that on here. You can load all your own stuff on here. Where you could use all the peripherals that you like. You want you keep
Yep.
using your PlayStation controller. You don't want our controller. Go ahead, sync that shit up and go play with it. It's a lot to unpack for someone who's not in the PC realm. That they would be like, that's make believe. If you're only a console gamer and you've been avoiding PCs because not part of your life, you don't need it for school, work, whatever, and you hear all this, you're like, this sounds impossible. You could tell me I'm taking all my old, even my 360 controllers and my PS4 controllers, I can use this? Yeah, you can. They probably wouldn't believe it. So they have to come up with a really smart way to market this device to that audience, because as we all talked about it last time, this is not for the PC gamer. PC gamer already has a rig. PC
Yeah.
gamer already knows how Valve
Well,
works and with
Adam,
the free games.
Adam, don't forget the what is it? Less than 20-second, millisecond delay, wireless transmission, 12 gigahertz or whatever. I have to. I think maybe 6. But they basically have
Separated
something that
Bluetooth.
works better than Steam Link. So like
Yeah.
it's this now becomes an extension of your PC, and that's another reason I'm fucking vibrating on my goddamn scan. Is like if you have a PC, you don't even have to worry about Steam Link anymore, right? They added that's like a supercharger fucking thumbstick. They just plug into the thing, and now your
That's it.
massive workhorse gaming PC is basically being streamed faster in network, because all of our routers we can do in network like so much faster than we can do broadband. So like that allows you to not have to worry about good internet speed. You can do your own in-house broadcasting, which then takes away the delay. It's a big thing, man. It's a big fucking deal. And I think that I agree on, but I don't know if they're gonna. I think that they're not gonna advertise a lot of this shit, and they're just gonna let people flip out, find out, write articles. Like they're gonna be like, did you know you could do this with a Steam Deck? You know how many articles of that there's gonna be? And that is so good for Steam. It's fucking brilliant. Just throw in some features. Don't even tell us about it. Let's figure it out.
All right, Carlos. What about you? What do you think it's going to cost? And mind you, people, Carlos is our Miss Cleo about this stuff.
Call me now.
Miss Cleo now. Yeah, I would love to see a world where the starting price of this is $500, but I feel like that's not possible.
Even Valve
just-
can't make it happen.
Yeah, even Valve. Because I do agree with you guys.
Dream.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you guys about Valve is trying to disrupt the market here, and
Yeah.
they're doing it by making a more pro-consumer product than anybody, which is not hard to do these days. But just thinking about how everyone's favorite word, the market conditions, also the cost of RAM has skyrocketed twicefold in the recent months and years. I just don't see it being 500 for the bottom tier. If I were to guess for the price for the bottom one, maybe 650.
That sounds reasonable.
650 might
Because
be.
think about this, right? With the Steam Deck, when we first heard about it, they gave you the prices right up front. Right now, I think we're not going to get the prices until like it could be even like a couple of weeks before launch. Because of all that shit you mentioned, the tariffs and the RAM and all that.
I think that
I
six
think
and
that's
change
exactly why.
for the Steam Deck was the high end one. Remember that was the high end. That wasn't even the base one back then.
Kishak says I don't think Valve has the power to subsidize the price because they're not a hardware manufacturer. They subsidized it with the fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah, they did. Well, and here, I think that the way that they're looking at it is they're not building a console to make money off of a console.
Yeah, they're not.
Right?
They're not at
building
all.
a console to push their storefront into more hands and start taking market share from Sony. So they, the fact that they're coming out with something that, for me, here's the big deal. Here's the big tell. It is going to be the power natively of a PS5, not a PS6, right? PS5, which puts it kind of in that Switch-esque territory where it's running like half a generation to 3/4 of a generation behind, right? So I don't think that they're trying to stick bleeding edge hardware in this. I think that's why your laptop or your PC exists or whatever. Like, this is an entry level thing, and they very clearly expressed this is an entry level PC experience for people wanting to have this stuff in the living room. So it's doing this weird thing where it's like I'm not trying to be a PS6, but if you want a PS6, your PC is pretty much a PS7, so just fucking stream that shit. Like, so I maybe take back what I said and tell Adam that I think that maybe they really ought to focus on how this integrates as like a missing piece in an ecosystem. Because once you have the Steam Deck, a Steam box, and a PC, okay, what else do you need?
I wonder if they're gonna advertise it the way. What was it? Was it the Vita, whatever, with the person playing the game, and then they took the save file and then they left or something? Maybe it was the Switch that did that. I don't know, because if they want to advertise the whole ecosystem the way that commercial showed us, it's like, oh, we got the frame and we got a controller and we got this and we got the deck,
And it's
They
a
could do that
PC,
whole- Yeah, they could do the whole thing, same thing. The guy's sitting in the living room, he downloads the game, he's playing, and he's got shows a fancy controller, doing all this stuff. Because it's like, hey, you need a keyboard for it? Nah, I got that. And it's like, yo, we got to get out of here. It's like, oh, I'm playing. All right, fine. And then he grabs his Steam Deck, and then it automatically does it. And it's like, yo, I told you, how much is it? No, it's free. I get to play online and free. Just got to connect to the network. I'm like, what? They could easily do that. Now I take out my glasses. It's like, yo, we don't have any internet here, man. You can't do that. It's like, no, I got the game all loaded in. I don't need the internet. We don't need roads. That type of thing.
That would
It's
actually go really well. Like, because their headset has onboarded hardware as well.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
and
Yeah.
that's so. And I think like the headset, obviously, you're that's another thing where you're going to want as low a latency as possible, right? So like you're like, yeah, I can use the onboarded hardware on the headset, but if I'm really trying to do a VR experience, well, then I'm going to start pulling power from my PC through this link. And like that, again, like there's just so many industry changing things packed into one goddamn project. And like, here I come again, pulling this whole chestnut out of the pocket. Like, that could be, honestly, Valve might have just done the thing that we needed to actually start pushing VR forward again. Because it's stalled out. It's stalled out. It wasn't working. You need a certain amount of latency and things like that. The fact that they onboarded a lot of this stuff, they made it super light, and that they have the industry leading VR headset, and then they just came out and went, let's just do better. Let's just 110% better than already dominating the market. I don't know why I love that so much. You were already winning, and still you had to be like, let's go winning her. Like, it's why?
It's gonna be.
Did you need more money? No.
Yeah, I want to move on to
Especially
this.
with that
Next question. And I'm going to combine two. The next question that I have written here, and the one Kishak just asked now. From one subset, he goes, if the Steam machine can hypothetically come in at $400, which it won't, which would Sony and Microsoft rethink their plans? And then Kishak's question is, am I crazy to think the Steam machine will have no effect on PlayStation sales at all? No, you're not crazy. I don't think it is. It's not
at all.
really. It's not really even though there will be some PlayStation guys that will be interested, like look at the Discord, for example. I don't think it's going to hurt it, but again, like Steam machine is going to be just like Steam Deck is kind of doing its own thing. You know, it's like, hey, you want an easy PC gaming experience on your in the living room? Here you go. You know, but for some people, it might be an alternative. But no, I don't think it's going to be, because that's a lot of the questions we've been having, a lot of conversation we're seeing. I'll get to you in a minute. Like, is this going to dethrone PS5 and Xbox? Well, Xbox is already out of the race. We're not counting Xbox. Is it going to dethrone PlayStation? No, it's not. But it's a good
Nintendo.
alternative. Yeah, and you know that's a whole other different thing too. But here's the thing.
Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Tony.
Yeah.
I just because I want to make sure we're all speaking the same language here. Like, let's say, like, it would this single-handedly come in and steal, 50 to 70% of Sony's market share? No. Would it come in and maybe steal 20% of its market share, and then you combine that with the PC user base already installed, and then when you combine those figures together, would Steam have numbers rivaling Sony? Yes.
Wait, console sales?
No, platform, meaning Steam platform.
Yeah,
meaning Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think 20% is too much. I think maybe 5% at most of PlayStation.
You don't think 1 out of 5 people will bail?
No, I think
Bro, I can tell you at least 1 out of 5 PlayStation owners is not there because they want to be a PlayStation owner.
Okay, I mean, again, now we're just talking opinion. But I think one out of 20 will, sure, but not.
You think one. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you think 19 out of 20 people who are playing PlayStation right now are playing it because they believe in and defend and support the brand, and not that there's just not really any other
it's because
viable alternative?
Because that's what they're used to. This is the gaming machine. That's all they care about. I've been playing on PlayStation for X amount of years. Oh, this is the console all my friends are on. That's as far as they go, Like, people stick to what they know, generally. That's what I'm basing it off of. Like,
how do you be able to tell this?
Like, you're talking about you're talking about a more informed consumer base. Most consumers are not informed.
No. I'm talking about, hey, this is cheaper and I can play games on this. I'll just buy Timmy this. I'm talking about the lower barrier to entry. And that's where they went brilliant on this, is because it's not a high value machine. It's not a cutting edge thing. It's a stupid cheaper thing that is easier to get, less expensive, with cheaper games that often have more sales and no online price.
Okay.
Like, even just looking at it, like, you're standing at Costco looking between the two machines.
But it's not going to be sold at Costco. That's the thing I wanted to make clear. This is going to be sold exclusively on the Steam store, just like the Steam Deck is. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, the normie is not going to see this at Best Buy.
Okay. How much of the Switch population was displaced when the Steam Deck came out?
Not a lot. Remember, Steam Deck, none at all. Steam Deck in total has sold 4 million units in total. So,
I guess the Switch has sold like what, 80 or something like that.
No, it sold like for fucking 150 million or something. Like, yeah. So it didn't displace the Switch guys, because again, why? Because those guys are used to their platform. They're not going to go somewhere else. Well,
again, this is not about, at least where I'm looking at it is from, like, I think this will move the needle a little bit, but I think that little bit, like, if you're looking at platform, like, every game sold across Sony's market store, they get 30% of, right? Same with Steam,
yes.
So now you're looking at, okay, so how many active daily users do you have on Steam versus how many active daily users do you have on PlayStation? And I think at that point, with that, I think I don't know. There's probably more PlayStation users than there are PC users, but I think that this will help close that gap. I think it makes
it depends on the day.
Dangerous for Sony.
Yeah, it depends on the day, because remember, there was that one day where, like, Steam had like a crazy amount of people on. But yeah, again, Brett, maybe I don't know if I'm understanding you correctly. Is like, because if first you started talking about hardware sales and you flipped over to user base, like, I just want to make sure we're on the same ground here.
Yeah, in strictly hardware sales,
okay,
you will not see this outpacing the PlayStation 6, for instance, right? You're not going to see it selling more consoles in the PlayStation 6. But what I do think it will do is it will inflate the user base to be in direct competition with Sony. Right? Like Sony can't just look like it looks at Microsoft and go, Microsoft's a fucking gnat buzzing around their head, right? Like, they don't give a shit. But I think that with the release of the Steam console, Steam just became a very big threat to Sony.
Do you think
Kind of out of nowhere.
Do you think it's going to sell?
I do.
No. Do you think this will outsell the Steam Deck?
Yes.
Okay. By how much?
A lot.
Okay. Again,
A lot. Because there's
yeah.
more demand for it. There's more demand for a living room console than there is a handheld. As much as we all love the handheld, we all bought the Switch, right? Like,
Yeah.
or all bought the Steam Deck. Let's be fucking honest. How often do you use your Steam Deck versus how often do you use your PlayStation? Right?
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
We
But
all
again,
use our consoles every.
but again,
all the
my question is, we have a question related to this a little bit later on, but you could only buy it from Steam. You can't buy it at a store. That's gonna hurt it a little.
Right now,
Not hurt it.
well,
Yeah.
Here's the thing: stores are stopping selling consoles. Like Costco just stopped fucking
Xboxes.
selling Xboxes. Like,
Xbox. They still
Xboxes.
PlayStations. Yep, they still.
They sell
and Switch.
PlayStations and Switch. They just don't sell Xboxes.
for now, they sell PlayStation for now. I can tell you, I know that like a lot of the big box retailers, they're not a fan of the fact that Sony decided to put up their own digital thing, and like they're not making like you can go to a Walmart and go back to the PlayStation section and look, it is a fucking wasteland of just non-stocked and unsold shit. Like you can tell like a game will sell because they'll be like that week's newest release, and then a couple Switch releases that are a couple months old, and then the rest of it, like they don't bother to even properly stock it. Like when was the last time you went to a big box retailer and perused their video game section? Fucking pathetic.
Okay.
It really is, because they're not making any goddamn money. They're selling the console, which isn't the thing that makes anybody any real money anyway. And then all the money goes to the storefront. So they're like, what the fuck is the point of having all of these Xbox games here?
Right,
Nobody's
you know
gonna buy
what?
them. They're just gonna go home.
Let's meet you with that hypothetical, which I don't believe that's ever going to happen. I don't think stores are just going to go, we're not selling plates anymore. But let's go with that. Let's go with that. Where are people going to go to buy their system? To Steam or to Amazon or to Best Buy? Like these places still exist online, you know?
I don't think Best Buy's gonna I think Best Buy's gonna quit selling consoles too.
Online. They don't have to keep them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and PlayStation still very well. So again, I don't know if I'm making my point correctly.
I actually wanted to know this.
Yeah.
What is the point? If you're a big box retailer and you're not making any profit off of having 10 to 15 to 20% of your store cordoned off for video games, why the fuck are you going to keep doing it? They've taken all of the profit out of it. Why are you dedicating the shelf space? Especially when most people do their shopping online anyway. And if you're just gonna why have the warehouse space to store all these Xboxes if you're not making a profit off them? It's not like people are gonna buy their games from you. They're just gonna download them digitally.
Yeah, but people
Sony
are
made
buying.
that very clear.
People are buying consoles online, regardless.
Well, yeah, because where else are they fucking gonna get them?
Yeah, but again, I don't think you're understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say, like, you could buy the Steam machine only at one spot, whereas you could buy a PlayStation and Switch in many online stores. That's my point.
I gathered that point.
Okay.
And even with that point in mind, I will say I disagree that that's going to continue to be the case.
Okay, that's a whole other, you're adding another variable that little too much, but sure. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm saying even as it stands, I think if one out of five PlayStation users jump ship, that's a significant amount.
I agree, but I don't think it's going to be 1 out of 5. I don't agree with that.
I don't see this. I don't see people just closing out their PlayStation. In fact, I see it as something that's another console to have in tandem with it, or another thing to have with it. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that. But
I don't think people are just going to just throw their PlayStation or throw all of that stuff out the window. I think they're going to still continue to buy PlayStation games, but now you have another place to play things. You know,
Yeah.
Okay.
some of those,
Let me-
a lot of those games, which are not. Also, there's a lot of those games that are on PC that don't ever touch any PlayStation. So you have that door open to you.
You do, and I agree with most of what you said. And I think my response would be to respectfully ask how many people in this room are planning on buying a Steam Deck or a Steam box.
Steam machine.
I'm thinking of definitely getting it. But
Yeah.
Okay.
again,
But remember, we're
I'm
all
only thinking-
hardcore nerds. All of us are getting this fucking thing on this podcast.
Yeah, I didn't
hold on,
even.
hold on, hold
I
on.
didn't even.
Let me finish-
I also
let me finish making my point.
did not even. Also did not even touch the Steam machine because excuse me the handheld because I didn't
know.
see any reason for it.
And that's exactly my point. A lot of people were turned off by the handheld nature of it. We have already talked in this room with these same people and
Hardcore
talked about how
nerds.
probably none of us are getting a PS6 at launch. How many of us are getting a Steam box on launch? All of us. You know, but that's more than 1 out of 5.
They really should have called this fucking thing a Steam box, man. By the way,
Well,
but here's the point, and I'm glad Kishak says this. I think if you were to ask 100 random people, I bet you more of them would know what PlayStation is over Steam. I agree with that.
Yeah, and that in general, it is the zeitgeist console. It is
Yeah.
considered the thing. You know, obviously, still to an extent, you still need to be a bit of enthusiast because obviously, nobody's and Digital Foundry brought this up to like some, optimizing your games. It still needs a little bit more, done to it to get these things to run, the way that you would want them to. So there's a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done. But I think, I think that again, I don't think it'll capture the main, mainstream zeitgeist people, but I definitely think a lot of people who are looking for, looking for like myself, where they're not looking to be sitting in front of this thing, all the time and have a nice living room experience and have a decent, some people actually do put together under set boxes. This is not a foreign thing. You put a couple of people I know have a little PC that sits in their living room that they watch YouTube and play games on, but but here it is all there for you right now. You have one, you can hit your little bit of your Steam library. You can play the games that you got on there. I think it'll be along with. So I think whoever's already pretty much converted will probably pick it up if it seems right for them. And then people they'll see, I don't think it's going to be cutting into anything.
Okay, so do you guys see the main obstacle it's going to face as not being sold outside of Steam? It's like, because that sounds to me more like one of the big things that you think is going to hold it back.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, my question would be like, why? Like you say like, oh, people are going to buy a PlayStation because they know about it and it's cheaper. Like a lot of people know PC gaming is a thing, and I think if you're standing there and you're like, well, this one's $100 cheaper and it doesn't cost anything to go online.
Standing where?
And I think they already. And what's that?
Standing where?
At Amazon or sitting on an Amazon site or something like that. Like when and if it did break out of that, or even like, here's the thing. Sony is really, really pushing to sell their consoles from their own website. That's how the PlayStation PS5 Plus has been. That's how the multiple rollouts of PS5 have been. I don't know why we think that they're going to sell most of the new PlayStations from Amazon. It seems like they're trying to sell most of the new PlayStations through PlayStation so they can cut out retailers.
I can actually answer this. I don't think I know because when we do PlayStation sales, most of the people that click on our website, you know what link they click on? They click on Amazon or Best Buy. PlayStation is a distant third, and remember, Tom's Guide is a normie ass fucking user base. Like most people, they know Amazon. So I don't think I agree with you that Sony would probably want you to buy from their storefront, but most people, regular people, they go to Amazon. And remember, Brett, just to be clear, I am not shitting on the Steam machine. I'm there day motherfucking one. I'm just trying to be fair. Yeah.
I don't think you are. But what happens when you go to order a PS6 and you have to put yourself on a waiting list on the Sony website, or you can go to Steam and buy a Steam box today?
Yeah. Well, the Steam box is coming out before.
Oh, the Steam gonna have a waiting list too.
Yeah. Well,
And-
you-
Steam
yeah, well, I mean,
buys.
they got through that backlog of Steam Deck for the amount of Steam Decks that they seem to have just booted up production on. They actually moved through that wait list pretty quick and a lot ahead of schedule a lot of times.
that's the question
Like,
I have too. Like, do you think
I
they're gonna
have
have that?
still to
Yeah.
this day not gotten my fucking link to buy my PlayStation 5. My launch link.
Oh man.
I had to get it through dark, shady back alley dealings. In this room.
Fergus Mills, what's up? He says, "What up?" By the way, in the chat. Okay, let's move on to this next question here. The fuck was that? I think that was. I was about to say her name. She'll talk again. Her name starts with an A. Anyway, Alpha Chuck, aka the gaming engineer. And I'm going to go around the room for this one. What is your personal limit on the price of the Steam machine for it to be considered a day one buy? For me, anything $500 or below would make it an instant automatic buy. Anything higher, I would likely have to wait. So let's go around the room one by one. Adam, what is your personal limit on this thing? Where you're like, this is as much as I'm going to spend. I'm not going to spend any more. Say that again.
I wouldn't. 7.
Okay.
I'll go with a 7 because I don't really, I have my PC and stuff. I mean, this would be more of just to mess around and to do a lot of other things that I normally do on a Steam Deck, but on that box, because that's how they even advertise it. It was like, oh, you have your Steam Deck. Well, you can do all that on here. It's like the power of 5, blah, 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 blah. So it would be to do a lot of just the same and then to have that in the living room. So it's okay. Like I already do all that type of stuff on my main PC, and I got my big box set up and all that. But if I could have it all set up in the living room and then have that for the kids, it's like, oh, now it's all on here, and you don't have to stress about plugging all these other consoles. They could push all those aside in a way. Yeah, I think I would just go with that.
700.
So yeah, 7. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, Manny.
Because you got to think of
yeah.
tax and stuff.
Yeah, Manny. What about you? What's your upper limit? You're like, okay, I'm not paying more than that.
500. Yep, because it just like that's already even 500 is even pushing it. I think, and that's sort of what I paid for PS5.
Yeah,
right? It was around 500, $499, something like that. Yeah, I think 5 is the limit. Anytime you go into the $600 range, I don't think that's really a thing. I at that point, if it starts hitting like $600, $700, I'd just be like, hard no, I don't want it. I might as well just buy. I might as well just buy myself a fucking PC already.
Yeah,
which I already need to do. I'm gonna buy another PC for $700 or $800 or more. Nah, fuck it. I can keep it.
Yeah, the reason I laugh is Jeffrey says if it's over a G, I'm waiting for a Steam machine sale. Yeah, I'm kind of taking Adam's answer, 700 for me, and that's with the controller, because I want that controller. Like to me, I'm like, if you're gonna buy a system, it needs to have its own dedicated controller. But the beauty of this thing is you don't need to just use whatever you have.
I mean, I guarantee you that Steam controller is going to be the best controller, hands down.
We have a question about that too.
But if somebody just wants to get in and they just put the test the waters out,
yeah,
and it's like, what, I could see them just going with the lower end and not dealing with that. It's like, if I do want it, I know it's an option. It's not forced. It's not one of those like, oh, this
Adam,
is the only
you
way
can
you
do
get
get the lower end one, 512 gigabytes. Buy like a SD card if you want to expand, or use your own Bluetooth controller. Like this shit's gonna be
Or
you will probably let you upgrade this
get
shit,
that
dude.
one. No, exactly. Or get that, and if you do have another SD, you can just open it up and just pop that one in and replace it, and then just download their ISO, because that's what we did with the Steam Deck.
That's 100% right. All right, Brett.
They'll just be like, go to iFixit and buy the 2 terabyte, then replace your 512 with a 2 terabyte. You're good to go. Like they support right to repair, which is another huge thing.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but it's a big thing.
Yeah. What about you, Brett? What's your upper limit?
I'm actually with the same with you guys. I'm weirdly enough, because this is not something I usually say, I agree with everybody. Page average tomatoes book. Here's my deal. I'm willing to pay $700 for a Steam machine, but I'm also with Manny in the sense that I paid more than $500 for a PS6.
Yeah, I think that's fair. By the way, I should.
Because-
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, because I know that the Steam box will be worth the money. I know that the games are already there and they're going to be out on it. I don't have to buy them again. I don't have to pay for internet. It's going to pay for itself, right? Which means I'm willing to spend more than I am on a PlayStation, which is a weird place because I'm willing to spend more money on something that technically has lower powered specs, which is frankly stupid. But that's it.
But the
We're here.
convenience, though, bro. The convenience.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's not that much lower than a. I mean, it's like between a 5 and a 5 and a Pro.
Actually, no.
Because
Digital Foundry said between the Xbox Series S and the regular PS5. It's closer to the PS5 end, though.
Interesting, because the what's that thing? The what do they call it? The processor is a lot better than a PS5.
The problem is it only has 8 gigs of VRAM, whereas the PS5 has 16 gigs of VRAM. That's going to be a little bit of an issue. Yeah.
If it's VRAM, then that's something you can change in the settings because that's just virtual RAM. So we could just switch that in.
No, but like you can't like decide I'm going to put 24 gigs of VRAM. You know, like you can't do that. Like there's a limit there.
So it has a better processor, but it has lower VRAM.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
That's just the VRAM. There's just still the actual RAM itself. It has 16 gigs of RAM and then 8 gigs of VRAM. So they separated it.
Yeah.
So it technically has more RAM in total.
Oh, that is interesting. That is interesting. But yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
Because they didn't go for unified RAM like how consoles do it now. They went for separate RAM.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but they did. So they know something.
Can we upgrade the RAM in this thing?
We don't know that yet.
No.
Oh my god!
I mean, they said you can take it apart.
Yeah.
They're leaving it open to take.
And if the RAM is separate, that means oh, please tell me this is just using standard RAM sticks. Oh, please.
But we don't know that. Let's not jump the gun.
We don't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, Manny, if you saw the video they did, they did their hands on. They said it's between the Xbox Series S and PS5, but closer to the PS5. And they were very worried about that VRAM. Like that's half the video they were talking about. They're very worried about that.
I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one because it's like you have that VRAM, but then again, like you have a better processor, and that was always the bottleneck on the PlayStation 5, both versions.
Yeah. Well,
so the bottleneck was always
I defer to Digital Foundry on this one.
I don't know. I mean, it seems a little bit odd to me that it's not as powerful. It doesn't at least from again, they may know better than me, but it looked like it was a little bit above a PlayStation 5. As far as the processor is, the only downside was the actual graphics card, which is literally the same exact thing that's inside of 5, and exactly the same thing inside of a 5. So
is it exactly the same?
Yeah, it's the same generation of graphics card, AMD, whatever. But it's got a little letter at the end, so it's maybe like one slightly above whatever the 5 has.
Before I forget, there is another issue. There's another issue because it's running Steam OS, right?
Yeah,
it's still running Steam OS. Now, when it comes to EA, now they're under new ownership, so hopefully this changes. But EA has this whole thing where their anti-cheat software does not work on Linux, and it doesn't work with any version of Proton and all that. So
we have a question about that too. Yeah,
and that does not work on the Steam Deck because of that. The game, the first ones used to, and then now they don't. So I hope they do it because that applies to EA FC, that applies to Madden. Those are the two
put a pin on that because we have a question specifically about that, the security. All right, Brian.
Hey, Tony.
Go ahead, and then Brian next. If he's even going to buy it, what's up?
I just want to point out, I feel like we're sailing back into uncharted waters here a little bit, because now, so we moved to x86 and everything has been the same since x86. But before that, we had drastically different things running under the hoods of our consoles. And it kind of feels like we're going back there now. We know Windows is bloated and shitty. I don't know how well, I can't tell you how well or how smooth the operating system on PlayStation actually works because it's based off of Windows architecture. And I do know that Linux can actually run things with Proton leaner than you can with Windows. So it'll be really honestly super interesting to see the benchmarks on this, because like maybe Proton's doing something that requires it to have less VRAM and do more direct processing. I'm not really sure how this works. We're getting into the place again where we're not working off a unified standard of how things work. So it's not, apples to apples anymore. And honestly, that kind of weirdly excites me. I'm like, oh, are we gonna have a thing where like we actually have two different competing platforms that aren't the same thing? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, Linux has been around for a while, though.
Yeah, but nobody was using it to game on, and Proton was the missing piece here. And I think like with Proton, I would almost say Proton and Linux have formed into their own system at this point with Steam. It's a proprietary Steam thing. It's just called Proton. It's not named in a way that's like, oh, Steam OS, even though they actually started using that actual shit. Oh shit, they are doing that.
Yeah. Brian, what about you, man? Actually, yeah, I want Brian in first, and then you go next, Carlos.
All right, first things first, I will not be buying this machine because I have no need for it, which is fine. I'm actually more excited for the headset and the controller than the machine, so that's me. But if there were a world one where I would want to buy it, then I think around 650 would be my biting point, because I think that's reasonable given the price and how prices have shot up recently.
Yeah.
It was going to be 500 if this was 2-3 years ago, but now it's 650.
Yeah. All right. What's up, Carlos? Mr. Romero. There you are.
Yep. So the whole x86 thing, I mean, the Steam Deck or the Steam machine can still do that because it's based off of, the processor that it uses, not really a Windows thing. So this, for example, the Steam Deck is x86 architecture.
The AMD chip, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I guess the new hardware.
Steam OS is not, but the chip is.
Well, yeah, I mean, all hardware is. I mean, wait, isn't all hardware universal? Like, there's no Windows or Linux specific hardware now, is there? I know I was out for a while.
No.
Okay.
Continue.
As far as the question, I think 200 might be the upper limit for me.
$200.
Yeah, just
Wow.
same reasoning as Brian, pretty much, because my PC on my PC, it's already vastly superior to the Steam machine, so I don't really see a sense to or a need to get it unless it's like stupidly cheap, where it's like might as well get one. Like it's a sick deal. Like 200 would be a crazy deal.
That's what I'm saying. People that have gaming PCs and people that have PCs in that world, they're not in this market. This is not for them. That's why I'm saying Valve has to really cater the marketing to the console audience and the casuals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only outlier because, again, my PC fucking destroys even my PS5, but I'm like, I don't want to have this big, clunky, fucking energy-draining thing anymore,
Yeah, Adam, I'm the opposite of you. This thing, it's because of this, and I'm like, now I need to build my tower. Like, I have had no need to build a tower. I have a gaming laptop. Like, what do I need to do? Like, carry around the power of my laptop in my laptop? I've got a fucking 4070 in the thing. It's fine. But this thing, oh shit. Now I need to build a tower with like fucking 32 gigs of RAM and the wireless thing, so I could just melt shit. I want to be able to push every game onto Ultra in my living room. And now I have that fucking option, especially with this wireless link. Dude, now I'm in the ecosystem. I have never cared about an ecosystem before. Now I'm fucking in it.
Yeah. All right, Rich, what about you, man? What's your upper limit for the Steam machine?
So my answer is actually very similar to Brian and Carlos. If I was to get this system, maybe 500. But to be quite honest, as of today, I have no plan to get this system because I have a Steam Deck. I have a PC that I will be upgrading. And here is my other controversial comment.
Uh-oh.
I am planning to get a PS6 and the next Xbox, because even though, because I mean, I've always gotten consoles. Xbox and PlayStation is still a thing to me in some regard. So yeah, I would definitely be checking those out to see what they have to offer. But as for this here, like I said before, PC is where it's at. But once you have a very good PC running, I don't think I need to get anything with less power. And again, I have the Steam Deck also, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, again, if I was still living, back in the fucking projects where I didn't have to worry about electricity, I'm like, what the hell do I need this for? I got a PC. Now that I'm in a little fucking studio, studio apartment, and this beast just sucks up all this energy. I'm like, oh man. And I don't even play that.
Now
Go ahead.
Now you know why PlayStation, Sony, and all these guys are touting their energy pool
Energy
numbers.
savers.
Yeah. Before I didn't give a fuck. Now I'm like, yo, what's that TDP, motherfucker?
Don't you remember that when you look at TVs and you look for that little sticker, the little energy saver, all the devices that have it,
Yeah, that's funny. All right, the next question here from Mr. Alpha Chuck.
So everybody's saying 500, like I said, huh?
Yeah. Again, we still got a lot of questions, guys. But Brett,
I was gonna get thrown in there. Like I thought it was fucking hilarious. Now, Tony and I actually sat down and started doing the calculations of how much a single power box in a PC to keep running all day was, and we figured out you could light an entire 4-bedroom house in the 80s off of inefficient 100-watt bulbs for the cost of leaving your PC on. That shit is so ridiculous.
Fucking insane, man.
That's why I always turn my computer off. Y'all like, oh yeah, you should leave your computer.
I put that shit to sleep now. Fuck that. Yo, my fucking electricity bill went up $60 when we were streaming Monster Hunter for that fucking month. It was insane. And remember, I'm not playing that game off the fucking PC. I'm playing off my PS5. But since I had the PC on to stream, whoo. So now, I know I'm kind of sidetracking here. Basically, I will use a MacBook for my regular computing shit, work and everything. And for my gaming, I'll use that shit, the Steam machine. Remember, I don't play a lot of PC games to begin with. So it's not like I'm going to be that's why, actually, as a matter of fact, I said this on the show, I probably will actually play more PC games now. One of the reasons I don't play a lot of PC games now is because I'm like, yo, that's going to raise my electricity bill. No, fuck that. Give me the fucking PlayStation 5 code, please. And one last thing I wanted to say, yes, I actually will be buying it. I know Valve is. I'm probably going to get a review unit of this, and I could just use that as my main. No, I want to own it. I want to support Valve, bruh. Just like I did with the Steam Deck. Tony needs an arc reactor. I need to fucking. I don't know, man. New York, bro. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Do you think Valve?
In general.
Yeah. Do you think Valve expects the Steam machine to sell more or fewer than the Steam Deck? While the guys in the podcast and Discord may be excited, this is still a pretty niche product and won't come close to standard console sales. Yeah, it's not going to sell like a console. It's not at all. It's not for that crowd. Because, like I said before, you have a lot of online places like Amazon and Best Buy. You could buy a PS5, whereas you could only buy the Steam Deck or Steam machine off of one place. And like you said, ask the average person on the street, do you know what PlayStation is? I'm pretty sure they're gonna say yes. Do you know what Steam is? They'll be like, what the fuck? Steam from a fucking pipe? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So to clarify, that means that you would probably. Well, no, that means since people do know what Xbox is, by the transitive property, you are saying that the Steam machine will sell less than the next Xbox, correct?
Probably will, yeah. I think so. Because Xbox has that name recognition, But then again, when you said the next Xbox, that's interesting because that motherfucker's going to be like $1,000 easy,
Yeah. Well, yeah, the one that's competing with
they're saying
PS6.
it's premium.
Yeah, but I still think that'll probably still outsell this just because people know Xbox and you could buy Xboxes at big stores and shit online. So even if it's like an inferior machine or not inferior, if it's not as user friendly, or wallet friendly, it'll probably still sell more, unless, go ahead.
Do we know how the Switch 2 is selling with its price increase?
I could tell you right now, but it's not doing that bad. Oh, by the way, Brett, I saw the exact numbers. The original Switch has sold 154 million so far.
Yeah, I want to actually, but I won't do this now. But like by Thursday, maybe I'll track the growth of the Switch versus the Switch 2 because they had a pricing increase of like 20%. A lot of people got pissed off, and I would be really interested to see how that affected the sales projections.
10.3 million. That's from Nintendo themselves.
Okay, and now I just have to figure out how many Switch had sold by this point. But I think it's selling slower than the first Switch did.
Yeah,
which means that
we have to look that up. We
which
don't
would
want to
mean,
say that for sure.
Yeah, that's why I say like I'm gonna have to go back, and I'm posing a hypothesis here, not saying anything, but I think barrier to entry is a really big deal right now. And you may be able to say like, oh well, the games make up for it, the platform makes up for it. And that's Nintendo's whole fucking game, and they still seem like they got a lot of people pissed off at them. For a while there, it seemed like the internet was just united, angry at Nintendo, and I don't see that often. So I'm really thinking
This is, oh, by the way, Brett, this is from July, so it's a little outdated, but as of from July, the Switch 2 has been outselling the Switch 1 in the same price, the same time, 2-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So,
actually, here it is. This is from October. It has outsold the original Switch in the first 3 months.
Okay. So it seems like causes a lot of rabble with a vocal minority because apparently people don't mind paying another couple $100 for what they feel is a sure bet.
Yeah.
That does kind of undermine my idea of like,
Fans.
my whole thing is kind of like, I think Steam is coming in to disrupt. I forget which one of you guys said that, but I think that was the perfect way to put it. I think they're coming in to disrupt the industry. And they're coming in to knock Xbox out and go to toe-to-toe with Sony. They're just going to, push a little in, just get a toe in the door, and then they're going to have the market numbers. Because, Steam doesn't give a shit whether any of you guys buy a Steam box or a Steam machine or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like,
You
they don't give a
people.
shit. Yeah, all of us people, because we are already playing on Steam. We're already buying it. They're already hitting 30% of every game we buy. That's all they want. It's not about the consoles. It's about the storefront. It's always been about the storefront. So like, we can sit here and be like, well, I'm not going to buy it. Like, cool. Like, we can say that as we're in Steam's pocket already. That's not going to like change they're not making money off of this thing. They just want more users. So they win-win. So I think that, I don't know now, because I was really saying that like being disruptive by not having charged online and coming in at a lower price point, even if it's at a lower power point, I think a lot of people would kind of take the GameCube approach and be like, it's a little bit less, but it's also a little bit less. So, it is what it is. Because that was the GameCube sweet spot when it was, Nintendo still made consoles. Yeah, it wasn't as powerful as the other ones, but it was cheaper.
Actually, the GameCube was like the second most powerful. It was Xbox was most powerful, GameCube was second, then PlayStation 2 was third. PlayStation 2 was actually the less powerful one.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
shit.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Remember
But
when they ported Resident Evil 4 to PlayStation 2 from GameCube? Like, yo, this shit don't look as good,
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, because that's right. Because there was part of my memory is getting bad in my old age. Wasn't GameCube out concurrently with PS3 for a while though?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
It was its main it was part of the PlayStation 2 Xbox generation.
Yeah, and that one, and also the GameCube also did not do very well.
The Wii was the one that was out during the
Wii was
360
the
era.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out the same year.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. On that same kind of track, one subset asks, has Valve reignited the console war for next generation?
Yeah.
They could, maybe.
Yeah.
They could.
It's no longer a grown man fighting a drunk toddler.
Yeah.
It's two grown men fighting. Which good. We need that because like honestly, I was really, really afraid with Microsoft being so clearly like up against the ropes. You know what I mean? Like an unchecked, pretty much blue oceaning with an unchecked Nintendo just man, that would be not good for us consumers. Like that's this
Brett.
that would seal our fate.
No, Brett. What you're talking about is not a hypothetical. It's been that's been the case for 5 years, and to your point, it hasn't been good. Think about it. If that's been the case this entire generation, it's been PlayStation and Nintendo running buckshot, and this has been the shittiest fucking generation by far. You know, it's already happened.
Yeah,
it's already
it
happened.
Worse too. But if we got to the point where Xbox officially retired and did not make a console, and Sony was just the only console in town, like. That'd be scary. And I think somebody would step up because the market is ready for it. You've seen a lot. You've seen Atari try and step in. You've seen what Amazon try and step in. The problem is, it reminds me of a tattoo shop, right? I've seen so many tattoo shops that have been tried to be opened by people who know nothing about fucking tattooing. And they end up running them into the ground and then surprise Pikachu face like, well, what the fuck happened? Like, you need to have experience in the industry to know how to run a business in said industry. You can't just come in and be like, oh, there's a lot of money to be made here, which is the reason Amazon failed, right? And it's the reason you can't just resurrect Atari because, 30 years behind the curve. Honestly, Steam's the only people that could really pull this off. So
yeah, I agree with that.
I'm just happy that we're not going down the darkest timeline, and especially with and I gotta say, just to get this shit off my chest, with the price increase to $30 on Game Pass, cross-referenced with how often Game Pass games are on sale on Steam, it's not worth it anymore. It is not, that price point is not worth it. Unless you're like where I'm at, where I'm like, I don't know, I got $30 and a month to kill, and I don't really know what game I want to buy. Sure, maybe then. But for the most part, everything that I've gotten a great discount on Steam, it's because oh shit, went on Game Pass, but now I own it, and I'm happier owning it for 75% off. Kingdoms of Amalur or whatever the fuck it was. That game was great. Tainted Grail, game's great. Did I pay full price for it? Fuck no. So that's the best place to be. So I'll be really interested to see how this all plays out, because now we have Valve coming in with the fucking machine, and Sony gonna be making handhelds probably, and Microsoft is just probably going to be a game publisher like Sega. Fuck, now we're in this, yes, this is a console war, because now I'm sitting here going over hypotheticals like, okay, so when Xbox goes out of business, whoever picks them up as the game developer might have a leverage on the other one. And when you start running Cold War scenarios between video game companies, you could sure as shit bet that's a console war.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to have actual competition, but we'll see. What about the rest of you guys? You think Valve has reignited the console war?
No.
Don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
The reasoning why is because it's not competing on the same level.
Yeah, like we kind of talked about.
It's not. I mean, granted, it's it is the level that it is competing on. Well, the level that it is taking is the being inside of the living room. But I don't think it is really on that same level. It's not. It's almost like how the blue ocean strategy. Even though Nintendo is more in the console war than what Valve is.
Yeah.
Guys,
what's up?
Am I okay? I'm not on it. I just looked it up. So there have been 84.2 million PlayStation 5 units sold, right? That's units sold.
Yeah.
And that includes mine that's been sitting here collecting dust for 6 months. Steam has a monthly active concurrent user base of over 220 million.
Yeah.
So
PC.
When you say that more people know about PlayStation than know about Steam, that is demonstrably false by 3 times, actually.
I mean, if you look at those numbers, sure, but go onto the street right now and start asking people.
I mean, asking them what.
The general market in general dwarfs whatever they have.
The general market dwarfs whatever who has what. Hello.
Yeah, what's up, Brett? Somebody did.
The general market. Yeah, like, but I guess I don't understand that. I'm like, so what I'm saying is, PlayStation. If every single PlayStation user who has a PlayStation knows what PlayStation is, got on at the same time, they would still be like a third of what Steam's active user base is. So how can you tell me that more people know about?
Wait. Are those active?
About...
Are those active users or just users in general?
Yes. Active monthly users.
Yeah.
Active.
Oh no. Well, I mean, think about it. There's more PCs out there than PlayStations, and everybody, even if you don't use it very often, has a Steam account. But I'm saying, like, for the general,
those aren't the concurrent active players I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people who made a Steam account and then forgot it. That's why I compared the amount of PlayStation 5 sold to the amount of active concurrent players monthly.
Do you think all those guys will buy a Steam machine?
No, but what I am saying is when we're talking about platforms, Steam's platform is 3 times the size of Sony's. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with you that going out and talking to Joe Schmo on the street, that they're going to know more about PlayStation than they are about Steam. In fact, I might say, they'd be like, I know what a PlayStation is, but I know Steam has some killer sales. Like, I get what you're saying, but what you're saying is anecdotal and kind of.
You're saying is anecdotal too. Go out into the street.
I'm using.
No, Brett. If you go out into the street right now, you're not gonna. No one's gonna know what a fucking Steam is, but they're gonna know what a PlayStation is.
How do you know that?
Because I can live in fucking life. That's why. I work in this fucking industry. I know regular people. That's how I know, man. Okay, I guarantee fucking you that.
Okay, but brother, then tell me why it has 3 times the users.
Because there's more PCs out there, motherfucker. That's why there's more PCs out there. No one is disputing.
Current players, not ones that have a Steam account, ones that have signed in this month to play Steam games.
There's more I don't know how many ways I can say there's more PCs players. And the other thing, let's calm down a little bit here. I'm chilling, but I know you're getting up there. No, we're not. The question was never, is PlayStation a bigger platform than Steam? No, it fucking isn't. That number that you gave, they gave 200 whatever million, that's a baseline. There have been times where it's way fucking higher than that. But that's not in question. I'm just saying the average Joe Schmo on the street will know PlayStation better than they will Steam. The average gamer, all the average gamer fucking knows Steam, obviously. I'm talking about the regular Joe Schmo,
Just a regular person that doesn't, just like, okay, what is gaming? Gaming's PlayStation.
Okay, that's fair.
Or gaming's Nintendo.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way if everybody who says they know about PC gaming was included in that Steam? Because there's a lot of people who know about PlayStation without owning one. They just know that a PlayStation is a thing because it's been a name for 30 years. But we've been calling Steam PC gaming, and they're the only viable marketplace really on that platform. So whenever anybody says, oh, that's PC gaming, what they're talking about is Steam, right? So I'm trying to dig down, is this a branding thing? Because the same way they called PlayStations an Xbox forever. But I don't think I think the Joe Schmoes that you're talking about, they're like, oh yeah, they know that there's PC gaming, but they don't know that it's called Steam. Yeah, they also don't own a PlayStation. They don't even know what PlayStation we're on, probably. You could be like, oh yeah, it's a PlayStation.
That is true. They probably don't know.
What number are we up to?
I don't think it's unfair to say that PC gaming is Steam. It isn't, but I don't think it's unfair to say that. I think you do have a point there, But again, I don't see even 87 million of those people buying a Steam machine,
Oh no. I don't. I don't think. I'm sorry. I think I lost the lead here a little bit. I don't think Steam necessarily. I don't think it's about consoles sold. It's not about consoles sold anymore, and it hasn't been about consoles sold for a long time. Most of the time, if ever, man, we all know that they've usually lost money on consoles for years. Console sales meant nothing other than a user base. So, why are we not measuring user bases?
Because that's never been a thing we've done.
Why?
I don't know. To ask the fucking ESA, you know?
Because Sony is not telling us the active user base. That's why Steam's the only one that actually gives us the fucking information.
Yeah, but Nintendo isn't giving it to you, neither is Xbox. Like, it's just a regular thing.
No.
But
none of those people have 20 million units sold, much less 220 million concurrent active players. That's where I was shitting. I was like, I did not realize as a company how much Steam dwarfed everybody else, almost put together. Like you realize that?
Yet,
like
the Steam Deck hasn't only sold 4 million.
Yeah. Again, why does that matter? Why do you care about console sales?
Because that's what the question is.
Because we're talking. Yeah, we're
That's
talking
what the
about.
question's asking.
We're talking about the device. We're not talking about the thing. You said it yourself. The Steam in general is just probably going to use this to parlay to get some more people onto their storefront.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, why do we not make the same distinction when we're like, no, we're talking about PlayStation 5 Pros, not PlayStation 5s.
Because
only
Sony doesn't. Because
like,
PlayStation doesn't give you those fucking numbers. You know.
Yeah, they don't give you Pro and 5 separately.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure we're staying consistent here and trying to understand, because it's just like it feels like yes, the number of the thing matters, but ultimately the conversation what we're having leads to user base. So I guess I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit.
You might be, again, because I'm just trying to answer the questions they're asking us here, you know?
Yeah. It's well, okay. I'm really trying to clarify. It moves the needle. It is not going to do the thing by itself. But if you look at just that movement of the needle, you're not going to see the whole picture. And to the point where I think the data almost starts to lie. Because if you're like, oh, well, PlayStation is going to sell, PlayStation sold 75 million, Steam Box sold 5 million. Clearly, Sony is doing way better than Steam at this. Like, not necessarily. So I'm just throwing that out there that it's not going to be a competition in and of itself. But I think it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I will say Steam has a lot of potential kinetic energy, right? Like, it has a lot of kinetic energy, bro. It's like somebody standing atop a building holding a ball. That ball may still be up there, but if you let that shit drop, it's a lot of kinetic energy. Okay, that's a lot of people for sure, but I still think for the average person, it might be a little bit of a tougher sale, unless they decide, fuck it, we're selling this shit at every storefront. Then the story gets interesting, you know?
I agree with that. I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's going to be the difference. If they get their manufacturing up enough to get it in stores, now we've got a race on our hands.
Now we got an interesting conversation. All right, next question here from Mr. Black's Viet. What is kind of on the same track here? What is considered a success for a company? Sell the most consoles, hardware, or sell more software and services? Does Valve care about matching Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft in hardware sales, or are they just trying to get everyone to the Steam store? We already answered it. Steam, baby. They want you on the store.
They want you at the store because if you think about it, they are officially as far as their box goes, they are the only outlet. Well, no, you can get other games through other places, but for the most part, it is the one place where you can get things. Yeah. They're the big guy that's on there. So I think, and it still is in line with what we've said before about, like, in general, when it comes to those consoles, it's like they want to sell you the software. The software is where they make the majority of their money, until it finally, the consoles start to finally become profitable. That's also an interesting thing on this, on a special on the Steam box, the Steam machine in general, is that would they be selling it? You said it before, was like, would they be selling it for a lower price to just try to squeeze in?
I'm telling you, man, that would be crazy.
I think I know exactly what's going on, and it's so they already did this once, remember? And they're like, here's the concept. And then they sat back and they're like, we'll just let other people make it. And they waited and nobody fucking made it. And so like, God damn it. And so they made the Steam Deck, and then everybody started copying the Steam Deck. And so clearly they're like, oh God, so we just have to make a console, and then everybody's going to make a bunch of copycat consoles.
That's what they should have did in the first place. They should have dictated what the mission was, and then have everybody else, instead of trying to people tagging people along, like, hey, you get the license and you get the license, be like, No, this is this. Beat this.
Yep, exactly. So I think that we are going to start seeing that, and actually that might tie into the question that we talked about. Like, you might start seeing living room PCs popping up at Best Buy before even the Steam machine does. So that'll
Yeah.
be interesting. But those will also be ridiculously priced. Same situation with the handheld. It won't really be a thing.
That's
Not
actually,
any real
yeah,
competition.
that's
but-
actually a good segue to the next question from Black Viet. Will Asus, Lenovo, or another PC manufacturer release their own version of something like this?
If it does
All of
well, I
them.
think they would. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You know?
So you may end up getting that Steam machine that has a better specs than the actual one.
And
we
if-
already see
yeah.
it right now.
And if they're smart, don't fuck around with Windows 11. Put Steam OS on it. It's already available. You can put it on there now on whatever machine you want. You know, I don't know if this will happen, but if they do it, literally just copy it, bro. Make the same form factor, Steam OS. Don't fuck around with Windows 11. You know, out of the box. That'd be interesting for sure. Like you said, Brett. They're showing the way, and others will follow. You know, that'd be
Well, and it's honestly
interesting.
kind of a smart way to get people on their platform without having to risk or leverage the manufacturing costs or risks yourself.
Yeah. And by the way,
I mean,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This could be a multi-billion-dollar prototype that, like, they're like, if we put this thing out and sell 2 million Steam machines, and then everybody else picks up the manufacturing and then just runs from there, and we just sit back on the storefront and rake in money, that's still a financial win. It's so hard to kind of say, what is a successful game now? Because money. I think this is the last question. The answer is money, but it also shouldn't be, right? Like, if we judge a game's success by money, Fortnite is the best game of all time, and we all know that's not the fucking case. Or do you judge it by, like, how many people have experienced your work? As an artist, like, if I drew a book, I would judge my success by how many people read that book fully. Not how many people read halfway through and then walked away, but how many people like, oh, this is really good. Like, that would tell me how good a job I'm doing as an artist, but that's not money motivation. So we're in this weird place where, like, none of the analytics fucking measure or are consistent across anything. So money's not a factor. Fucking sales copies is not a factor. Hours played and amounts of sake drunk is not a fucking factor. I don't know how we even compare games anymore. They've just made it so fucking hard and stupid. I just had to yell about that for a minute. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Next up here, Black Mage. Got a couple questions. Adam, you touched on this, so I'll let you start first with the answer. Will Valve roll out a solution for the anti-cheat software for the release of the Steam machine? This has kept Steam Deck users from playing popular multiplayer games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, etc. This would remove a huge barrier for me when it comes to making my decision of purchasing the Steam machine and ditching the big three consoles altogether. Whoa. Yeah, go ahead.
Valve's fault. It's not Valve's
Bro, you know,
fault.
you
Valve
can
has
Windows.
an antivirus. I mean, an anti-cheat system already. It's EA that doesn't want to use it. They're using something else. So that's the issue there. So EA needs to make that change. And now that they're under new ownership, maybe they will make that. They don't give a shit. It's like, oh, you got your own? All right, fine. It works with all your other games? Then we'll do it. Because they used to use it, and then they switched to another one, and that's when it turned off. Because I used to play my FIFAs, my FC games on there, and then they went the other route, and then it stopped working, not supported. We saw this also with Rockstar. Rockstar did the same thing with Grand Theft Auto. They started using their own shit. So when they switch that, if they see that this is out there and it's an install base, it's a console, then maybe they'll be like, all right, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see how this works. So
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? I don't really know too much about this. Chime in. All right. Go ahead, Brett.
I'm going to say something, but I lost it. Let's move along.
All right. Next up, another question from Mr. Black Mage. Are you guys excited for the Steam controller? What is your favorite feature that was highlighted, and what are your concerns that you may have?
4 pads on
Yes,
the back. Is
everything
my
and none.
Go ahead, Adam.
Just the 4 pads on the back is great because then you can remap the 4 face buttons just so the 4, because a lot of them just have 2.
Yeah.
So you have 4, then you don't need the face button. So all the just constantly moving your thumb in that weird position. Some people just don't like it. You get a thumb cramp. Well, you don't need it. Then you could just click on the back. You have to change your muscle memory to just flick to the back and not use your thumb. But yeah, once you do that and you figure out a new way to finger,
Yeah, as long as you're fingering.
You got to figure it just the right way.
Exactly. Then you just everything changes. Or, like some people hate always pressing in on the sticks.
Yeah.
That's a button, but people hate doing it.
Ooh,
Then just
yeah.
assign them, and now you got extra buttons to do that. So you could still do the other 2 to replace maybe your constant A and X button pressing, and you could flip those on the top, and then for your R3 and R4, just use it R3 and L3, and just remap them. So I'm looking forward to that. We already brought up the concern about the touchpads, locations, and the thumbs, and
Yeah.
But then if you're using the new fingering,
Yo, if you guys aren't listening to if you're just listening, this shit is funny, man. Yeah, again, I brought this up on the Thursday show. My main concern is like it just looks really awkward. Like I'm like, how's that gonna feel to hold? But I said the same thing about the Steam Deck, and that felt like butter. So I may have nothing to worry about.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hands down, best done. It's done. This is going. I'm fucking looking at my crystal ball right now. This is going to be the best controller,
Ever?
hands down. I think so. Yeah. Because first of all,
make that GIF, Arlo.
Hey.
Do it. It's an audio clip.
Oh, Carlos isn't here, man.
What? He was just here.
Yeah, there he is. No, Carlos left like half an hour ago. There's Brett. What's up?
he did. Bye.
Yeah.
Took it over my people. But here's the thing. I want to go back in time and throat punch whoever invented R2, right? Because holding my controller like this is the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. I'm a fucking monkey pawn it with like little tiny T-Rex arms. Like I hate and like hold on, I'm gonna get my controller. I'm on video. So we're gonna talk.
Like, oh man.
I'm mad.
Right? Controller. Who wants to hold it like this? What is this? What is it? Nobody does this. I'm convinced nobody does. What do? We all hold it like this, and we swap. We swap back and forth, right? Because every game where I have to have my finger on all 4 top buttons feels fucking weird. And I can't tell you why, because it puts the pressure in the wrong part of my hand, and now I'm just like, it's just fucking weird. It's weird on a PlayStation controller, it's weird on an Xbox controller. But you know what's awesome? The fucking back buttons. The ones we've been asking for more than a fucking decade. And I know that because I've been one of those people asking for those goddamn things. And I say this as somebody who's a professional fucking artist because hand strain is a goddamn thing. Right? Like after I come home from a long day of tattooing, you know what makes my arm hurt? R2. It's always the fucking R2. So
wow.
I am so happy that I'm on a fucking crusade for buttons on the back of the goddamn controller. Your fingers are already there.
Yeah.
You knew it. Put a touch screen back there, man.
I'm gonna do that shit all the time now, baby. Let's go.
The image for it that it supports it. Whenever it's like, oh, does it support the back button? And it just is like
that's it. Like this. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I love the fact that you can just press the Steam button on this thing and the system will turn on. That's just beautiful. It's a small thing,
like
but I like
consoles.
it. Yeah, like a console. Because here's the thing: if you regularly play on PC, you know that's not the fucking case. So it's the little things, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing on this thing. It's cool.
I am not.
Uh-oh. You're like, I'm going to use my PlayStation controller, motherfucker.
I'm going to use my PlayStation controller. I am not impressed by the controller, and I wasn't impressed by the last Steam controller.
Uh-oh.
That thing.
Have you held either of them?
Yes. And I thought, not the second one, obviously, but that first one was just gross. That thing you could not play a fucking fighting game or anything of note on that piece of shit. No. That thing was garbage.
I will disagree.
Uh-oh.
I would also disagree.
As someone who did play quite a lot of games, including Warframe and Elite Dangerous, you can play a lot of games, and I do admit that it's actually probably better than most actual controllers.
Did you play a fighting game on it?
I've not played a fighting game because I play fighting games with an arcade stick. So
yeah, my man.
I can't speak to
Dark Souls on it.
Oh, okay.
Is that good enough? I
That's not a
played Dark
fighting
Souls. No, I know. Well, I don't play fighting games according to you guys. But I've played fast Twitch games and I've played Command and Conquer on it. So I mean, it's no replacement for a mouse. Nothing is like a full mouse and keyboard for like those RTS games. But it's sure as shit better than any other. Like the difference between trying to play an RTS with a controller and a Steam Deck controller or a Steam controller, it is impossible with a normal controller. Like you're just going to get frustrated and quit. Just don't even try. It's going to ruin your day. You can do it. You can do it with the Steam controller. Is it clunkier than a mouse? Yeah. Does it still work? Yeah, actually it does. Takes a minute to get used to that.
Going back to everybody talking over my answer. No, I will not get it.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. By the way, I'm looking at.
We all had to argue with you, Manny.
This is what we do on Throwdown, man. We throw down. You know. All right. Anybody else want to jump in? Oh, by the way, Carlos did actually say he had to dip out because he has like an early flight. He's been in with Minneapolis for the last couple of days, and he got sick because it was fucking cold. You know. Anybody else have any thoughts on the Steam controller?
Yes, I am excited to actually buy one because, as I alluded to previously, I actually did enjoy the first version. I thought it was really good. Lots of good promising. And again, it had the paddles at the back, which at the time I said that all controllers need this. And then slowly, I think it was the Xbox Elite controller was like the next one to get the paddles. And then PlayStation, whatever, Elite controller got it. So now it's like, well done. You're finally catching up to an old thing that I've had for years. I mean, the whole thing was discontinued like decades ago at this point. So yeah, I am excited. I do like how the transmitter is also the charger.
Yes, that thing is cool, man.
Like, I just don't know why no one thought of this. And and the fact that you just like put it over the thing and then it just clicks and charges. It's like, that makes sense, you know. Just have the thing on the side. You put it on, you click, it charges. You take it off, it's ready to go. That's brilliant. I am slightly concerned about the placement of pads. I don't know how much room there is for your lower three fingers back there. So again, I would assume that Valve knows what they're doing, just because they seem to have a habit of doing this, but that's my only concern about it. But as Tony said...
Would you be okay turning them off?
I don't know. It's your fingers. Like, are you going to have enough space for like your pinky, ring, and middle fingers like behind the controllers? Because the pads are also there.
Yes, that's a good question.
I mean, would we...
That's my concern.
Here's the question, though. I mean, how do we know we won't have the same issues like we did on the PlayStation Vita with the touchpad on the back?
Does this thing have a touchpad in the back?
No, because that's different. That was very sensitive. This, you actually have to really press them. You can have your hands resting, and even if you did this, even if you did this, it's not happening. Nothing's happening. You have to really press.
Yeah.
You know, you have
really get it in there.
Oh man, I feel like that dirty Japanese anime.
That's right.
And they zoom in.
Get right.
Reminds me of the JoJo episode where the dude's tongue in the cherry. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Wait, what episode?
Yes, I do.
There's an episode of JoJo where like some guy gets taken over by the spirit, something like that, and he's eating a cherry, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, no, he's like because he could do this. He has this silly trick that he could do with cherries, and then he does that.
Oh man. All right, and the last question about the Steam machine. I told you guys, man.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, and this one is a sponsored question from our good friend Romudef. He picked up an extra one from Mr. Alpha Chuck.
Mr. Romulan.
If the Steam, yeah, he is a good guy. You know, sometimes he can be a fucking dick, though. You know.
But like like he's our dick kind of way.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna do that whole fucking. That's gonna be the thing for Throwdown from now on, man. If you guys ain't watching the show, you're missing out.
Watch it. That's where we pop off.
That's it.
Next time there's a heated moment, people all upset about shit.
Yeah, that's how you. That's how you bring the temperature down. All right. I can't even talk right now. If Steam Machine is successful, What could future iterations do to increase the mainstream appeal? Put it in fucking stores. That's what I say.
That's it.
Put it in
Yeah,
stores. Because you put this shit in stores, it'll fucking sell, bruh.
Yeah, you put it into stores, and then obviously, you know, the in general, the you know, the front end of Steam has gotten a lot better. You know, big picture mode has gotten a lot better and easier to navigate. So yeah, as long as you do any of that sort of stuff, I think people will jump onto it. As long as you make it available to regular people,
Yes,
and you express, and you also make it clear as to what it is. You know, you remember, you're selling to people that are, you know, who are in our age, who've kind of given up gaming, you know, trying to sell that to those people, or people a little bit older.
Yeah. So, and again, the question is specifically about mainstream appeal, because I was about to jump in. What? I want more fucking VRAM, but regular people don't care about that. You know,
they don't give a shit. Listen, if people are fucking buying Switches,
how much
they do not give a shit. If people are playing on fucking phones, they're playing fucking Fortnite on their fucking phones. They do not give a shit.
Yeah,
as long as it has the thing that they want to play on it.
100% right. They're playing. You're 100% right. What about the rest of you guys? You go ahead, Brett. What do you think it could do for mainstream appeal? For
stay
future
within
iterations?
25%. Stay within 25% of the original MSRP.
Oh, yes. Keep that's a good one. Like, future iterations don't just fucking gouge people. That's a good one.
Well, yeah, especially with mainstream ones, because like, look, we know Valve has the money. They don't have the shareholders, right? They have the financial ability to kind of cut the fat more than other companies. So nobody's going to be able to price match them. Nobody's going to be able to. Even though Valve doesn't have a lot of manufacturing capabilities, they meticulously build on the back of the things that they've done before.
Yeah.
And is generally pretty safe about them. So it's going to come in at probably I'm considering it'll be probably the lowest price point on the market. And then
I can see that.
The copycats are going to want to go in like they are with the handhelds and be like, oh, it's $1,200. Oh, it's $1,000. And nobody's going to want to buy those things. What you're going to need to do is try and keep it, you know, like, 25% more than the Steam box, because it's a little bit more powerful, right? Like, so I think don't double and triple the price, because at that point, just go buy a fucking PC, right? Where there's a small amount of space here where between console and PC. And if you push the price up into like laptop or PC territory, it's just going to defeat the whole purpose, because we already have handhelds and we already have PCs. So stick in the niche. And part of that niche is being low barrier to entry and affordable.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's move on here. I want to give a shout out to so Alpha Chuck asked us a couple of questions here about Call of Duty, and we have one of our other favorite listeners. He sponsored these from our friend Citizen. He sponsored these. I heard this guy has worked in all 5 boroughs of New York at one time. So thank you, Citizen. You're a good guy. Adam, this first question, coincidentally enough, is for you.
Adam?
Adam, what are your thoughts on Black Ops 7? Is it as bad as social media says? Uh-oh. For you guys just listening, Adam just wiped fake tears from his face. So.
Yeah. It's not a Call of Duty game.
Damn!
It's not a Call of Duty. So you guys heard all the hoopla, no saves, no checkpoints, always online for the campaign, and a lot of people up in arms with that. And I played co-op with 3 other buddies. We finished 3 missions. They're pretty lengthy. It's 11 in total, and there are checkpoints. As long as someone's still alive, and even no, in fact, don't take that back. We've all died multiple times, but there was a checkpoint. Now you can't back out of the game and come back in. But if you're playing with some buddies, you plan on playing, doing a session. If you die, it's not one of those like you start all the way back at the beginning of the mission. No, there are checkpoints in there. There's just no loading up checkpoints. But the point is that it's not a Call of Duty campaign like that. I mean, I'm fighting a plant. Okay, one of the missions, you go into one of the other characters. Now, this is a Black Ops crew. We follow through all the other games, and they're doing its backstory with other characters and an enemy. It's all over the place to the point that we started talking about other shit. We could not
Wow.
follow it. It was just so out there to the point where, like, wait a minute, what are we fighting? Zombie, like, spiders and plants attacking us. Oh, we're in somebody's nightmares. He's having nightmares. Now we're in his head, and then he turns into this big plant. Bonkers. And the layout, they're using the DMZ, they're using the big open world space that they created for that other open world experience that they have, which is fun and all. We've
Warzone,
seen it
right?
in their other modes. It's similar to Warzone. Yeah,
Okay.
it's another part of that. But it doesn't work well in this. There's so many missions where it's like, oh, there's a sniper. It's like, okay, let's go get him. And then the sniper just like pops up somewhere else and there's this huge open space. At this point, like I said, 3 chapters in, there's vehicles. You can't ride any of them. Not like Warzone. Warzone, you jump into a vehicle, you drive. You can't do that in this. So then you're running, or you're doing the new boost. You know, it's that future warfare like they did in Black
Yeah.
Ops 3, where you're boost jumping in and you have your little glider suit that you deploy out and stuff. We saw that in Borderlands 4. It just introduced that. And I'm doing this, and we're running around. It's like, this does not feel like a Call of Duty. Yeah, the gunplay and the gunplay, because they just cut and paste that from all the other ones, and so that's fine. We don't want them to change that. That formula works. But with the story and with all this craziness going on with the sci-fi and everyone's hacking computers, we're chasing servers down and trying. I'm like, what is this? You know, Call of Duty is supposed to be run and gun, go like Modern Warfare style, going to buildings, going to towers, going to bunkers, subway tunnels. No, not open world, just jumping around fighting plants and other robots. Almost every enemy I felt we came across was just another robot or robot dog.
Wow.
You know, it just it was upsetting. So that doesn't work for me. The multiplayer, it's that we got the grapple hook. That's the other thing. You got a grapple hook and you're swinging around and stuff. And that's just not my Call of Duty. You know, I said this before when I was asked a while ago. I was like, which one's your favorite Call of Duty? And mine's is Call of Duty World War II. That was my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Before they broke it afterwards, and because they took away jump. You couldn't jump. And I said, you know what? That makes perfect sense. Because I'm telling you, in warfare, it doesn't take rocket science. I don't think you're seeing everybody just jumping on the field with their gun and their heavy backpack and shit. You know, and no, it's not happening. So yeah, take that away. We don't need that. Eventually people bitched, and then they brought in jump, and then they had a sprint, and everyone was sprinting around. I don't like that either. You know, I hate when you see these guys who are like, oh, on YouTube, it's like, this is how you become a great player. Now go into settings and turn this on, and then just like auto sprint. That's not real combat, man. Sorry, people get tired. You know, fatigue is bullshit. But anyway, it just you got people jumping and then grappling and then climbing. It's just too much going on, too fast, and it doesn't feel like Call of Duty. And some people may, oh, that's old man talking. That's fine. But you know what? We have Black Ops. We got the Modern Warfare, right? They need another one. Yeah, we got zombies, but that they've only done so far one standalone version of the zombies, and that was because of some other issues. But I think that they need to make another one and just call it something else. This should not be Black Ops. This should be Call of Duty Future Cyber War or what, you know what I mean? Give it its own, just like we got all these different Law and Order shows and stuff. Need its own shit, because this was so far out there with the way they were presenting it and all the stuff that they want to do. And some people are like, well, that's growth. It's like, that's growth, but that's some other shit. That's not what I want from my Call of Duty. You know, when you talk to a lot of people that are really into Call of Duty, they're into guns. You know, they're into tactical warfare and strategizing. You can't do any of that when you're gliding and doing a super boost jump like Halo, like Master Chief, you know, and doing no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. So playing all these hours, and it took a couple hours for that. I played about 2 or 3 with the multiplayer. You know, I just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And people are like, oh, they rush it. No. I don't think this was rushed. I think this is by design. They were trying something new, and this is the only way to go. How many times can you go to World War II? I agree. Can't go. There's only so many times. We've done the Modern Warfare series. I get that. But you got to try to change it up. Do something else. Cold War was cool. They added all these different elements. You could pick different spots where you want to go and stuff like that. But this itself, the story, the crazy gameplay with the graphic and gliding and jumping and combining all that, I'm like, what kind of soldiers are we? It's just, you know what I mean? It's like, what is? It's basically a modified version of Halo
Wow.
at this point.
Oh.
And yeah, go ahead, Rich.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the approximate time, 12:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adam is confirming Battlefield 6 is where it's at. To hell with Call of
Damn.
Duty.
Wait,
Battlefield
no, I
6.
can't. Well, maybe you played that one. I have not played the Battlefield because remember, I was just like,
Well, you
I
may
was
now,
like, I'm out.
sucker.
Because remember, I was super hyped on this.
Yeah.
That I had 4-player campaign co-op. You know, that's a great feature. I'm still excited, and it's still fun. It's just the missions that we're playing not so fun. You know, so it's just like we're going through hallways of just endless guys just running in robots and shooting all these robots, and that's exactly what we did in Modern Warfare 3. It was a lot of robots, future wars. So basically, what you're saying is in the future, all we're fighting is robots. It's Terminator. This is where we're going right now. And it's sad because I wanted to be excited for this. I like these Call of Duty games; they're fun, but this was not. This didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. I know a lot of people were bitching about all kinds of things with it, but when it comes to the multiplayer, the one cool thing and as something I was bitching about that they took away. Remember the third-person view?
Yeah.
They took that out from the multiplayer. It's still gone, but not from the campaign. Campaign, you hold down on a D-pad. Now you got third-person over the shoulder, Division style running around. That's cool. Okay, that's all right, but it just doesn't have that grip feel. The world, the map, it just looks like they said, all right, we already created this big environment. What can we do? All right, let's throw this in and let's put a little story, some cutscenes, and let's just. And the story is so out there. Again, if you can figure this whole thing out, then you get 2+ stars because this is so out there where it's jumping from multiple versions and then going into the guy's head and then going into other people's scenarios. I'm like, no, what? The guy's dead. Oh, well, they're using him as a martyr. And then I was fighting some other guys and he was throwing daggers from the sky. It was raining daggers.
Wow.
And then you had to move out the way. Then someone would get stuck in the ground and you run, grab a dagger, and then you run to the guy and you stab him. But then before he teleports somewhere else. Does that even sound like a Call of Duty? If I were to take the Call of Duty name off of this, scrub the shit off, and then I send it to you and say, hey, play this game. What do you think? You'll be like, this is some weird first-person shooter game. You would not even think like,
No.
You wouldn't even think it's a Call of Duty clone.
The things I've seen online do not tell me it's Call of Duty. Like that plant you said. I thought I did. I was like, oh, what game is that? Wait, what?
Or the giant,
or the giant dude, that guy that shows. I'm like, huh? The fuck am I looking? I'm not even a Call of Duty fan, and I'm annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I didn't tweet about it because I'm pretty sure people would be angry. But I was just like, is this the grounded combat you guys were asking for? That shit don't look grounded to me.
No.
What are you talking about? They're just giants, man. They're big.
No,
It's Call of Duty Hellblade. That's right, Blackpage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They should have just done that. They should have just went another direction. You know what? All right. They knew what they were doing. All of this was out there. They knew it, and they should have said, you know what? Let's Call of Duty something else. Let's do it. We'll keep the Call of Duty branding so people know the gunplay and all that. But let's call this something else. Far out
Call
there.
of Duty cartoon. That's what we call it.
Or something. Or a Call of Duty Mindfuck edition.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what it is. Because this is like
Call of Duty the
story,
fuck.
You're like I said, they're fighting the giants. You're fighting things falling from the sky. These daggers. What? We're playing this and we were laughing most of the time because we were like,
to
this
be
is
honest,
so
like,
crazy.
what was that? Was it? I don't know what it was before, but didn't they have like a weird bike scene or something like that? In this one.
In this one, they had.
It was
I
like
mean,
in the trailer.
They've had bike chases before. The one prior to this, there was a bike chase, but it was just like we would see in a real situation where it's like we're chasing down a truck on a highway. So we get on these motorbikes and you're like going through the streets and shooting and then jumping and then QTE grab, X pull the guy down. That's Call of Duty. That's what we're expecting. The Michael Bay experience of just chaos and all this stuff. That's not what we're getting here. This was just big open world. You go into a room, cutscene. All right, now smash all the servers. Smash the servers. What? That's what? Okay. Oh, you didn't smash the right one. Incoming. And then you got robo dogs running after you, and then you got to shoot them. And
I heard there's a mission where you team up with the zombies. Is that true?
Well, not yet that I've seen, but zombies have popped up and they don't die from a shotgun blast. That
Wow.
makes no sense. Also, I had my shotgun. They already said zombies were coming. Like these things died. They come up. They don't call it zombies, but they're zombies. They come running at you, point blank range. Poof, and he just kept running. I'm like, uh-oh. And then
Wow.
poof, I was down. And I'm like, you know what? That's a balancing issue. You would think a shotgun should drop anything at close range. I waited for him to get close enough to
Yeah.
just make pineapple juice from his head, and it didn't do it. Instead, he hit me a few times, and then I was down. I had to wait for somebody to revive me. But I don't know what to say anymore about this.
Damn.
It's a Call. It has all the stuff you would want in a Call of Duty. It's got all the modes. There is a zombie. There's all that stuff, but it doesn't feel like a Call of Duty. But so many people that are so ingrained that every year they play in it. We talked about before. Where do you play? You play with your friends, right? If your friends are all going into it, then you're gonna go and you play. You'll take it for what it is. And just focus on the multiplayer. I know for a fact that they're doing that because once we finish the first campaign mission, you know what I got? Because we're playing on Xbox,
Yeah.
a nice big diamond Chivo, bling, which
Oh,
means
man.
no bitches have been finishing this one. And that's the first mission.
No one's
The
finishing
first
this shit. Wow.
No one. Then we went to the second one. Of course, no surprise. Bling. And then the third one. Bling. So I was like, you know what? There you go. Because it's already at that point. It's been out 2 days. At least finish the first damn mission. Now apparently the other issue that I've seen is that the game has a horrible time scaling. So
Yeah.
it's designed for a 4-player campaign co-op, right? There's tons of ways. There's tons of enemies to fight. So it's not a boring game. It just doesn't feel like a Call of Duty game. But with that said, from what I'm hearing, people that don't like to play with others want to play solo, says, when you go in that room and there's like 30 guys, yeah, there's still 30 guys when you're playing by yourself.
Wow.
It's not making that adjustment of like, oh, he's playing by himself. Let's
Yeah.
cut it down to 10. No, it's still 30 guys. And that's causing a problem. And there's no way to change the difficulty.
That's
So it's
crazy.
not like, oh, change the difficulty. You can't. You're online, and the whole idle thing, I could see that being more of an issue when you're playing by yourself. Because let's say someone's at the door, you have kids, you got to support. Damn, oh man, my bladder. Oh, I gotta deuce it. What do you do? You gotta hold it. You
Yeah.
can't because there's no pause. And if you're
That's crazy.
your
For a
controller's
single
idle,
player, that's
yeah, if your
nuts.
control's idle, it bumps you off the server. So I guess the only tip there is to take the controller wherever you are, hopefully not too far from your console, and just like keep moving the thumbstick, so that way it doesn't fall asleep.
Wow.
It sucks. It's dumb because Black Ops 3 that had 4-player campaign co-op, that had checkpoints, that had saves. Hell, you could leave it plugged in. If you plug in the control, leave it there, and it would not kick you out. And randos would jump in your game and play, and everything would still be fine. That doesn't seem to work here. That was the other issue. While we're playing the mission, I think it was the second or third, one of those, the second or third, somebody dropped. They had to go. Okay, no problem. No one else came in, and it was public.
Mm.
So I'm thinking that it doesn't just dump somebody into an active session. It finds a new session. Could be wrong, but I'm just saying we played the whole time and nobody else jumped in. And it was just 3 of us for a while. We're like, shoot. And then, yeah, no, it was the second mission. Because then when the third one started, we're like, oh, now it's definitely going to refresh. No, it doesn't take you out to a lobby or anything. It just pushed you right into the next chapter. And again, it was just us 3. It didn't do anything. So maybe that can be fixed down the road. Maybe they'll realize, all right, people don't like this. People want this option. We'll do something. But it's disappointing that we're going in another direction. I give them credit for that, but it's not a Black Ops. There was no Black Ops. They forgot what the whole point of Black Ops was. Black Ops is black operations and like sneaking around and doing those type of espionage type shit. So off the radar. No, we're running and gunning and shooting robots in the face and jumping around on roofs. You know how crazy that looks?
That's
To just like double
yeah.
jump from one rooftop to another and to smash through a second story window and then jump out and glide. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm going to just jump right into this question because it kind of leads into it. Do you think Call of Duty got complacent this year? They have Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders taking up space in the online shooter market. COD used to reign with little other options. Seems like the worst year to drop the ball. Yeah, because there are 2 other shooters you can play.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think it was a reverse. I think they went too far out. They were really thinking, off the grid. Hey, we're gonna change this shit up. It's gonna blow your mind. Yeah, it's gonna blow my mind to the point I don't think it's Call of Duty anymore. That's what you did, So no, it's complacent would be if it was like the same shit of the last one. Oh, running the buildings, this and that. No, I want those type of experiences, but expanded out. But no, not like this. This was something else. They tried. They are expanding out and trying new things. It's just not good. And that just the little things, the tweaks of like not being able to save and no checkpoints. Like if you want to go jump out and jump in, that's dumb. And the end game, haven't gotten there yet. Apparently, isn't much better because now it's PvE back into the DMZ, the big open world.
Yeah.
So you'll see other people running around and they're doing their own mission. So it's like, sort of like when we played the Division type of situation. You may, but like in the Dark Zone, you'll see other, but it's all PvE. So you can shoot at them, nothing's gonna happen. They did this in the last one also with zombies, right? There was a zombie mode. We played that, remember, where we jumped in and it was just a big open world and it was just zombies everywhere. But then it got kind of boring because everything looks the same. It looks kind of bland from building to building, and we're jumping around killing zombies. So apparently that's what happens with this, but not just zombies. There's actually missions and objectives. Hey, you got to hunt this guy down. You got to go retrieve this intel, and it's like. And again, like the fact that I finished the first mission and got that diamond, and at this point it's been out 2 days, 3 days, not including the early access, right? That people pay, whatever to, and still it's a diamond. Says people don't give a shit. They're in the multiplayer. They're all about the multiplayer. They don't care about this campaign. They don't care about any of the bitching about it because they just want to prestige up, get all the camos on their weapons, get new operators, and talk shit with their buddies in a private chat.
That's crazy. Rich, what are your thoughts on this, man? On this game?
I haven't had a chance to play the game yet. I do want to make a comment though and say, Call of Duty will be back in 2026 for about a week, and then it will be forgotten about because GTA will be out around the same time. So we'll see what happens.
But you know what? I hope GTA, when it does come out, that it's with the online portion. Because remember last time when 5 came out, online was like a year later.
Oh yeah.
So let's see if they worked out all that. And have they just announced that online is going to be?
Well, we don't know anything.
No, we don't, right? That's what I'm saying. So all we know is at the base game, and they might say, you know what, that's enough for now. When's the online coming? It's coming when the other one dies. That's when it's coming. When you stop buying all those damn shark cards, then it'll force our hand to make something else. But until then, right? People still playing this shit. That's the craziness. When you look at the top 10, we were always doing that joke, right? You look at top 10 played on PC, all the freaking top 10 sales. It's always Grand Theft Auto 5. People love that shit.
It's still there, hasn't left.
It's still there.
It's been in the top 10 for the entire life, almost, of Throwdown, bro.
It's nuts.
It's insane.
I mean, I wish I worked on that game. I wish I was in catering or did something. Because then that way my name will be in the credits and I could always brag about them. It's like, hey, you worked on the game? Yeah, I worked on this fucking. It's still in the top 10. That's really what is it? Grand Theft Auto 5. You can see my name in the credits. It's always there. And that's going to be amazing. So Call of Duty, it's not going anywhere. The campaign, people care about it. I care about it. This one sucks. And the people that, just like multiplayer, they're just going to keep running and gunning because that's what it is, right? It's the bro shooter. You run around, you shoot shit, you get your operators and all that stuff. You get multiple skins for it. You drop your 2025, you get a battle pass. People are ingrained, and that's the process. That's what they do. They love doing it. There's tournaments, and I get it. I get that part, but you want other things to evolve, and I don't like that wannabe Titanfall without being Titanfall feel. Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, man. And the last question of the night, and we're about to go over 2 hours, so perfect. George W. Cush, and his question's for me. And I did promise you guys I was going to talk about it, so here we go. Tony, did Metroid Prime 4 maintain the atmospheric and somewhat isolated feel of Super Metroid? I know you didn't play them, but Prime 1 and 2 really felt like 3D versions of Super in terms of atmosphere. They were superb games, while Prime 3 lost all of this with a focus that was more on action and than exploration. Yeah, this doesn't feel like Super Metroid. I can tell you that right now. I played 2 levels. One of them was the same level that everybody played during the reveal event of the Switch 2. And that was like super action focused. Like basically you're like in the middle of this alien invasion. You're fighting along with other like members of the government. I don't know anything about the Metroid lore, but you're fighting with like these other people that look like you, that have, crazy weapons like you. So that was super action. And then the other section I played, which was the majority of it, was this like alien planet that was like in a jungle. For the beginning part of it, I'm not gonna say it was atmospheric because it was like bright daylight. Everything looked nice and lush. But the music was really good. It stood out like crazy, which is something I've always liked about Metroid. But you do run it, and I know the internet has been talking about this, and I want to use this opportunity to address this now because I didn't talk about this at all in my preview. The main thing that people have been complaining about is this like NPC character that's with you during this demo, right? Like he's like an engineer. He's just talking the whole time. The thing is, I'm so used to this from other games. I kind of already know how to zone that shit out. So I'm just playing the game. The guy's chattering, whatever. I don't care. But again, since like you said, I have not played the other Metroid Prime games, I didn't realize that you don't have an NPC with you in those games. You're just Samus alone, like the 2D games, So I fully understand why people are upset. But with me, I just don't. I didn't bother with that. I'm like, whatever.
Did you turn into a little ball?
Yeah, you could turn into a ball. Yeah, it's Metroid. It's Metroid. But other than that, I liked what I played a lot. But yeah, and I probably will go back to play Prime, the regular Prime, because that's remastered. Because I really enjoyed what I played of this. Like again, that engineer guy didn't bother me because I'm just so used to that. Like in modern games, there's always somebody behind you. Oh, solve this puzzle, do this, do that. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't realize that the other games didn't have that. So I fully understand why people are mad. But the gameplay was good, 60 frames a second, very smooth. Actually, interesting enough, you get 2 graphical options. 4K 60 frames a second or 1080p 120 frames a second, in dock mode. I stuck with, since I have a hard time telling the difference between 60 and 120 FPS. That's when it starts getting a little weird for me. 30 and 60, I can tell right away, obviously. So I'm like, I'll take the 60 FPS and 4K. Looks very nice, but it's not going to graphically blow you away either. It is still a Switch 2 game. But I enjoy what I played of it. But I do fully acknowledge the criticism because nobody liked this dude. I was the odd man out because I had never played these fucking games, so I didn't realize that you didn't always just have a chatty companion next to you. And like every other game has these fucking things, so I'm like, it didn't even register for me. It's like when you're like, going down the street or whatever, there's like a million ads in front of you, you don't even notice them. Because you're just used to this shit, or in my case, like I'm just used to hearing fucking trains and bums, like it's just normal and shit, I was telling Adam that story. This is motherfucker just yelling, ah, ah! That happens every other night, Adam, over here, Or actually, yesterday at least it was people yelling at each other, so at least they're fighting. It wasn't just some random guy screaming by himself. But yeah, New York. Anyway, Metroid. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be very upset over this character. Again, the articles have been nuts, but yeah, there you go. We're pretty much done here. I did shave off a couple of questions because for time. So I will get to them on the next week's show. Thankfully, all these are like evergreen questions, so we'll get to them. But yeah, good stuff. All right, let's start plugging stuff here. Adam, what you got?
Whole lot. If you check out TV Terminal over there on YouTube, if we're here already on YouTube, got Landman Season 2, Episode 1, Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9, and Mayor of Kingstown Season 4, Episode 4. All 3 dropped on Sunday. All 3 Taylor Sheridan shows. All 3... It's a lot. All on Sundays. Shoot, man. But yeah, go check that out. Landman is awesome. Billy Bob Thornton. Demi Moore, a lot going on there. Life in Texas and oil drilling. It's a wild story, but it's fun. It's a fun show to watch. Yeah, so if you're interested into any of those three shows, go check it out. We do our reviews, our coverage. It's also, you can find it at thecoalition.com, so you can jump in and watch it there while you're seeing all the other game reviews and things that we have on the site. So yeah, there you go, TV Terminal.
Yeah. And speaking about the coalition, Rich was coming up on the coalition this week.
Yeah, still working on a couple of different reviews that I will be able to talk about in more detail soon. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned to the Coalition Gaming YouTube channel as well. And yes, myself, Gary, and Dana, we will be recording the next episode of Power, which will be airing on Friday. So stay tuned for that. If you are a Power fan, not to be confused with Powers, Tony's favorite PlayStation show.
Show of the generation, man.
Yes, stay tuned.
All right. Manny, what you got?
Oh, well, there's the usual things. Street Sharks is out right now, #1, so you can get that right now. Car Randolph covering myself. There is the, which is Blood and Thunder, #7, #8 coming up next month, so it's going to be good stuff. Again, me and Kari have a really cool little series of covers we're doing for that, and that's about it. Keep an eye out for some more stuff, because there's always stuff.
All right. And Brett, plug your stuff, man.
Oh, wait. One more thing.
All right.
So tomorrow, over the weekend, I was on Dave Wonder's charity stream, 24-hour charity stream. There is a raffle currently on his Known World United charity page. So there's a bunch of things that you can all kinds of toys and giveaways and all kinds of stuff, and the Solid Zero book is on there as well. So if you put in like $10, you get into the raffle, goes to a good cause. So yeah, that's so just go Dave Wonder, Known World United, and you should find it there.
Good stuff. All right, Brett, what you got, man?
Check out my Instagram, Brett Murdoch Tattoo, all one word, 2 T's and Brett. I've got my tattoo work up there. Finally started going back to work. Took my first few appointments this week. Really excited. Actually did a pretty dope Pikachu busted out of a classic Game Boy Color, which is pretty relevant to the podcast here. So
Damn right.
I will be.
Where'd they put
I'm gonna
that?
start
Where'd they
posting.
put that one?
They put it on the forearm.
The forum? Okay.
Yeah. It was about 6 inches tall and took us about 3.5 hours. So made good time on it too. Good to see my back works. I am going to start posting more progress pictures because we live in an age now where tattoos, like AI has caught up and like can just render a tattoo on somebody's body. So I'm going the other way and starting to show my drawing process, speed drawings,
That's
things
good.
like that. So I'm going to be dropping more involved breakdowns and not just flashy end picks, because honestly, I think that's more interesting to me anyway. Feral shit posting terrible memes and doing progress picks is more my jam. The idea of having to be perfectionist and only showing I feel like that's just a weird, stupid, inauthentic way to do business. So should be some more things coming on that. Plan to open a website in the next few weeks and set up some drop shipping. So I will actually be starting to sell some merch hopefully in the next month or two. Just need to figure out the drop shipping and print on order so I don't have to keep inventory of everything. But I do have the Has-Been Hotel prints. I'm going to be dropping some shirts soon. And I'll give you guys a notice when my website is up. But if you want to see some of my tattoo work, check me out at Brett Murdoch Tattoo, all one word.
Nice.
And for those of you, I know who you are. I'm not going to name names. For those of you that did donate to my my GoFundMe while I was down, I can't thank you enough. You know who you are, and I know who you are too. I'm talking directly to you. I know you, speaking to you. You know you. There's some motherfuckers in this room probably right now who know I'm talking directly to them, and I just want to say thanks for helping brother out. It's like I said in Firefly, man. Can't walk, you crawl, and when you can't crawl, you find somebody to carry you. And You guys carried me, so I'm happy to be back. And thank you so much.
Damn right. All right, guys, we are out of here. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord. And check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Adam Vale.
Good week, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good week, everybody.
And Brian Manjoma.
Yeah, siding with a convicted pedophile just because he hates the same guy that you hate isn't really a win.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. All right, guys, we'll see you on the Thursday show later.